guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am back with another Real Housewives of Atlanta season 12 review. This review is for the reunion part 1, so if you did not watch my reviews for episodes 1 through 23, please go check those out, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you are notified whenever I post a new video. And let's just get right into this review because this is the first virtual reunion for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I just want to start off by saying that the ladies did look really nice for this reunion. They were all dressed in white and they all looked pretty elegant. Now, I was surprised to see Nene wearing white because she said in her YouTube video about the whole drama surrounding this reunion that production had called her up and tried to get her to wear a color other than white because she felt like they were trying to make her a target. And so she didn't want to be a target, so she decided to wear white like all the other ladies. Now, they start off this reunion being shady as hell because I could already sense the tension between some of the ladies before the reunion even fully started. And they started off talking about the alter egos that the ladies had. Now, they started talking about Nene, who has Nene as her alter ego, who is the one who pops off the most. Now, they talked about Kenya and Ken, because Mark is the one who calls her Ken, and she acts completely submissive when she is called Ken when she's hanging around Mark. And they also talked about Cynthia and her whole little 50 Cent thing, which she said she was going to stop calling herself, 50 Cent, because she keeps adding another cent every time she turns another age, which is a little bit corny, but I think that, Cynthia's corniness is kind of, it's kind of likable. Now, they talk about Candy being Salt Bae, okay? Because Eva gave Candy the name Salt Bae because she felt like Candy was throwing salt on everybody's name. So this whole discussion about the alter ego started a bunch of trouble at this reunion already. Now, Andy ended up asking Cynthia how she feels about people talking about how she has different sides to herself, and they brought up Nene because Nene is the one who's always saying that there's another side to Cynthia, a more devious side to Cynthia. And Cynthia admits that she does have different sides to herself, which I think everybody has different sides to themselves, and it comes out in different types of situations. And so she was basically getting a little bit heated with Nene, saying that Nene needs to make up her mind. Either she's a punk or she's somebody who's diabolical and has a different side to herself, which is true. Nene does need to make up her mind because one minute she's always saying that Cynthia won't stand up for herself, and then the next minute she's saying that Cynthia does all this shady shit in the background. So it's like you have to decide what you're going to think about her. Either she's a punk or she's not. So Cynthia also tried to say that she's not a punk, which I don't think Cynthia is a punk, okay? I think that she has friendships strategically, and I think that she picks and chooses which battles she wants to have. And so they call her a punk because she doesn't really defend herself when it comes to Kenya and the shady shit that Kenya does, but we don't necessarily know what happens with them outside of them filming, so we don't know if when they're not filming she checks Kenya, okay? Now, do I think that she needs to check Kenya a little bit more on camera so that people can see that she doesn't accept Kenya disrespecting her? Yes, but do I think that Cynthia is a punk? No. Andy ends up asking Eva why she gave Candy the nickname Salt Bae, and she said that the reason why she gave Candy that nickname is because Candy was throwing salt on everybody's name, going back and telling everyone what people said about each other behind their backs, which she definitely was doing that. They ended up showing the clip where Candy was telling Portia what Eva said about her, saying that she needs to stop minding her business and mind her own, and that she would forward blogs about Dennis to Portia so that she could mind her own business. And the reason why Eva said that was because Candy went back and told Eva that Portia went and told Kenya that Eva said that she did not bring her kids to Kenya's event because she felt like Kenya didn't have good energy. So Candy definitely was being an instigator, but I don't think that she was trying to do it in a malicious type of way. And I know some people are going to disagree with me on this, but in this show, you are damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you know some shit and you don't go and tell anybody what somebody's saying, then when the reunion comes, everybody comes and dog piles you because you knew some shit and you didn't say anything. So I feel like that's where Candy was, but probably next season she should try to be not so in everybody's business. It ended up getting heated between Kenya and Nene at one point because Andy ended up asking Kenya how she feels about being called Ken, and she said that she actually thinks it's cute being called Ken because Mark is the only person that calls her it, and she feels like it's something special between the two of them. I don't know why she said that because after the way that he treated her on national television, I would never think that anything he did was special or cute when it came to me. Now, they asked Nene how she feels about Ken, and she said that she likes Ken better than Kenya because Ken is the one who shuts her damn mouth. And I don't know why Nene's talking about anybody shutting their mouth, because she doesn't never shut hers either. The two of them are a mess with their drama that they have back and forth with each other. Honestly, I'm over the whole Kenya and Nene drama. Hopefully next season they, squash their beef, because their drama has been going on for such a long time that I'm kind of over it at this point. Nene ends up calling Kenya a bitch, and the two of them start arguing back and forth. It gets so bad to the point where Andy has to mute the both of them, which I thought was funny. Now, they end up showing the clips about Kenya's marriage not working out and showing the way that he treated her this season. Now, you can tell that Kenya was uncomfortable watching the scenes where Mark was treating her like trash. Obviously, it's definitely embarrassing to be treated like that on national television where millions of people watch this show. But I think that it was something that she needed to see so that she could decide on whether or not she even wants to stay with a man who's like that. They also ended up showing the clip where Marlo and Nene were kind of gloating about them getting separated, which I don't know why they kept showing all these horrible scenes when it came to Nene, because I understand what she's talking about, where people on the show say a lot of nasty things to each other, but they really only pinpoint hers. I can kind of see where she's coming from when I watched the first half of this reunion, but at the same time, if she wasn't doing all those things and saying all those horrible things to people, there wouldn't be anything to show. Now, I don't like Marlo. I don't mess with Marlo, although she does bring a form of entertainment value. She seems to be happy when she sees that somebody else is struggling, and I don't like that about her. Kenya said that basically her and Mark have been working on their marriage and that they've been doing marriage counseling via Skype because he lives in New York and she lives in Atlanta. And Andy was saying that maybe the reason why Mark is being pleasant to Kenya now and the reason why he's trying to work things out with her now is because he saw how much of an asshole he was to her on national television. And that could be why, although I have heard rumors of reasons why he may be trying to work things out with Kenya, I personally don't think that she should be trying to work things out with him, because I don't think that anything's going to change. I mean, he's not going to move to Georgia from New York, and she's not going to move to New York from Georgia. So to me, they're going to have the same issues that they've been having, whether they try to work things out or not. Now, they also talk about the whole situation with the woman who was texting Mark's phone asking for sex, to keep having sex with him. And Kenya tried to say that that wasn't a woman that he was actually having sex with. That was some woman that he was having sex with in the past. And when she found out that Mark got married, she was contacting him to try to see if she could be like his side piece with his marriage. And I don't believe Kenya. I think she was trying to save face with that whole thing. I think this is a woman who he was sleeping with, and Kenya saw the text messages and she told him that if he was going to continue to talk to that woman, that they weren't going to be able to work things out with each other. I think that he was cheating with this woman the entire time. I don't believe that it's just some woman that he was messing with in the past and she came in and tried to, be his little side piece. Someone ended up asking Kenya if she thought it was karma why her marriage ended up falling apart because of the way that she's disrespected other people's relationships on the show. And she said that she doesn't think it has anything to do with karma and that other people came for her relationships as well. And so she was clapping back at them. Now, do I think that people came at Kenya's relationships very disrespectful multiple times on the show? Yes, they always try to say that she was desperate for a relationship and that she was paying these guys to be with her. But I also think that Kenya crossed the line a few times on the show when it came to people's marriages, specifically when it came to Phaedra and Apollo, because she was very flirty and inappropriate with Apollo, knowing that he was a married man to someone who she was on the show with. But do I think it was karma? No, I just think her and Mark are not compatible with each other. And to me, their marriage seemed more like an arrangement than actual love. I don't think they actually married for love. So Portia and Kenya ended up getting into it on this reunion because, Portia ended up jumping in and basically saying that Kenya's marriage falling apart was karma because of the things she did and said that were disrespectful about other people's marriages on the show. And to me, Portia was getting on my nerves throughout this entire first half of the reunion because she kept on disrespecting people and she continuously jumped in for Nene as if she was Nene's attack dog. And I don't understand how you can be an attack dog for somebody who dogged you out and you just made up with them. So to me, Portia was getting on my nerves more than anybody else so far on this reunion. It ends up bringing up when Nene said that Kenya used someone else's egg to have baby Brooklyn, and that's the reason why Brooklyn looks just like Mark and doesn't look anything like Kenya. And I honestly believe that, kids should be off limits. I don't think they should be bringing up anybody's child in any type of drama on the show, but they definitely do. And clearly that's not off limits for anybody, because most of the cast has talked about people's kids before in a negative way. And Nene says she wasn't apologizing for anything she said, which if she's not sorry, I honestly don't think she should apologize. So I agree with her on that. If you're not sorry, don't apologize, because it won't be genuine. But at the same time, I just don't think she should do it anymore. And, Andy ended up bringing up how a few years ago, Nene ended up yelling at Sheree for bringing up her son being arrested and said that kids should be off limits. But yet she mentions other people's kids in the more recent seasons, and she basically brushed that completely off and said that she's not apologizing. So that was basically a waste of time to even bring it up, because she don't care. She said it, and that's just what it was. Eva and Nene ended up getting into it, okay, because of the whole Nene talking about Kenya's daughter thing. And so the two of them started having a back and forth, to the point where Andy had to mute the two of them. They were arguing back and forth about fame and everything like that, because at one point, Nene said that Eva's only going after her because she wants to turn her plum into a peach, okay, because Eva wants to keep her peach on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, which I do think that they should give Eva another peach. Give her another shot to actually show who she is on the next season, because she's been pregnant the last 2 seasons that she's been on the show. So I think they should give her another shot. And if it doesn't end up working out, then they can put someone else in her place. But Eva said to Nene that she was walking red carpets before Nene was ever even heard of, which is definitely true. I know people like to shame her because she got her fame from being on Top Model. But at the same time, Eva was definitely a go-getter at that time at a very young age. I think she was only 19 when she won America's Next Top Model, and she's been consistently working since then. So I don't understand why everybody always comes for her. She definitely did have a name for herself before Nene did. And I just think that the drama between Nene and Eva is something that can go into the next season, because I'm honestly over the drama between Kenya and Nene. That shit is old. Now, once again, Portia ends up jumping in as Nene's attack dog on Eva and says that Eva doesn't need to be bringing up finances into it, because she thought finances was off limits, and that if she wants to bring up finances, then everybody can talk about Eva's. Now, Portia doesn't have a right to talk about anybody's finances, because at one point she didn't have anything. She was living off of Cordell, and when he kicked her out, she had to move back into her mother's house and pick up the pieces of her life. So for me, I feel like Portia should stay out of any financial conversations when it comes to shaming people. I don't necessarily think that Eva was out of line by bringing up foreclosures that Nene may or may not have had, because Nene always comes for the jugular when it comes to certain ladies as well. I do think that Portia was trying to defend Nene because Nene didn't necessarily have anybody on her side, but I feel like Portia inserting herself into Nene's drama is stupid, because it's like she didn't have issues with these people before she got back friends with Nene again. So to me, like I said, I don't think that the other ladies were wrong for their arguments that they have against each other. I just think that Portia needs to stop trying to help fight Nene's battles. They start talking about people's relationships being questioned on the show, and they talk about how Nene said that she doesn't believe that Kenya and Mark are legally married. So Kenya came with the proof that she is legally married to Mark. She showed her marriage certificate, so I think that they could put that to rest. I don't think that that's a rumor that anybody should say anymore, because once she shows that she has proof that they are, I don't think it needs to be discussed anymore, to be honest with you. I don't even know why Nene even cared about that, to be honest with you. I didn't care whether they were legally married or not. If they say they're married, to me, they're married. It's whatever to me, to be honest with you. Now, Cynthia ended up chiming in on that, because she said that Nene also implied that her relationship with Mike wasn't real and that it was just staged for TV purposes. And so Nene got pissed off, okay? She feels like everybody's coming at her and everybody's directing their bullshit to her and not to anybody else. And so she got pissed off and she closed her laptop screen, okay? We were staring at a blank screen for quite some time because she didn't want to deal with it anymore. She felt like she needed a break because she felt like everybody was attacking her. I don't believe that she was being attacked, because Portia was there having her back the entire time, and I think that a lot of the other ladies were being questioned as well. I just think people had more of a bone to pick with Nene, because if you remember, Nene is the one who came back into this season not being friends with anybody in the group, and so she was trying to make up with everybody. So maybe that's the reason why everybody kind of had a bone to pick with her. So Tanya and Marlo end up joining the reunion as guests, and Nene ends up coming back after taking a short break. She claimed that she had to use the bathroom, and that's the reason why she walked away. Although I don't believe her, I think she was pissed off because of the way that people were coming at her. Now, they talk about Candy being a bone collector and how Tanya nicknamed her KMZ because she was going back telling everybody's business. Well, telling everything that people said about each other to the person that they were talking shit about. She did it with the whole Tanya and Kenya situation, and then she did it with the whole Eva and Portia situation. Although Candy said she didn't mean any harm when she did it, and that you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't on this show, which I agree with Candy on that, and that's exactly what I said in the beginning of this reunion. Now, Eva and Portia end up getting into it because they show the clip of Eva calling Portia's baby Dennis with a bow. And Eva was trying to say that she didn't mean any harm by saying it, and that she really does think that the baby looks exactly like Dennis, and that Portia shouldn't be offended by that because Nene says it all the time as well. Now, I do think the baby looks a lot like Dennis. I think that the baby does. I think the baby's really cute. But I do believe that Eva was wrong when she said that, because she was talking shit about Portia in that conversation where she called the baby Dennis with a bow. So in my opinion, she was using it as shade. So basically, Portia called Eva a bottom of the barrel bitch and said that she didn't want anything to do with her because she talked about her daughter. But Portia needs to keep that same energy for Nene, because Nene talked shit about her while she was pregnant and sent her some really messed up text messages while she was pregnant with her daughter. So to me, she needs to keep that same energy for Nene. Now, they talk about some of Eva's comments that she made throughout the season, and one of the comments that they talked about was her whole C-section comment when she said that Portia's C-section scar has not even healed yet, and she's still in everybody's business talking shit. Now, I don't think that Eva meant any harm towards moms who have had C-sections when she made that comment. I think she was saying exactly what she said. Portia, it's too soon to be involved in other people's business and in drama when you haven't even fully healed yet from giving birth. That's what I think she meant by it. So to me, I didn't really take that comment as an insult. But she did make a nappy head comment, and they addressed that because Eva did get a lot of backlash from saying that. And she said that basically she's black, and in black families, people use some of those derogatory comments towards each other, which is true. But at the same time, I don't think that Eva is somebody who should be making any comments like that. And that's what Kenya told her in the reunion. She told Eva that Eva is a light-skinned black woman, green eyes, and, like straight kind of hair. So for her to make the nappy head comment was disrespectful, and she needs to be more sensitive to what comes out of her mouth. I think that she should too. I don't think she should make any comments like that anymore. I don't think she should have ever made the comment in the first place, and hopefully she doesn't make that mistake ever again. So they end up talking about Nene's friendship with Wendy Williams, and basically Nene tries to keep it short and sweet, and she said that her and Wendy are in an okay place, and that's about it. She doesn't really want to talk about it, which I can understand why she doesn't want to talk about it, because to be honest with you, it's irrelevant to the show and it's irrelevant to the season. Yes, they did show a few clips of her having a conversation with Wendy throughout the season, but to me, in the grand scheme of things that happened this season, that's at the bottom of the barrel. We need to talk about Snakegate, not about what went on between Nene and Wendy Williams. Now, Kenya ended up jumping in, and she basically said that Nene and Wendy's friendship was fake, and that, she started talking about the way that Wendy dragged Nene, which she definitely did drag Nene. And Candy jumped in and said that she doesn't think Nene's stupid, and that Nene is friends with Wendy out of strategy. And the reason why she says she's friends with Wendy out of strategy is because she can get background information from Wendy Williams about gossip and drama that has to do with people on the show. And Nene jumps in and quickly says that she doesn't want to talk about it with those ladies, and that she's not friends with Wendy out of strategy, okay? So Kenya and Portia end up getting into it because Kenya said that she felt like the apologies that Nene gave to some of the ladies this season was not genuine, and that's her opinion, and she has the right to have it. It doesn't matter if Kenya thinks it's genuine. If the person who Nene apologized to thinks it's genuine, then it's genuine, okay? So Portia ended up jumping in, and she told Kenya that she has absolutely no rights to discuss whether or not somebody has a genuine friendship with someone, because she's a fake friend to Cynthia, and she has receipts for Kenya being fake towards Cynthia. And she ends up pulling out her phone, reading a text message that Kenya sent her about getting Cynthia, okay? She said she was going to get Cynthia. Portia didn't necessarily read the entire text message, but she said some of what, Kenya said inside the text message. And so I have an unpopular opinion about this because I think this situation makes Portia look worse than it makes Kenya look, because it makes Portia look like a snake and looks like she can't be trusted because she didn't necessarily have a reason to read that text message, okay? Just because Kenya said that she feels like Nene's apologies were not genuine, I don't think that that gave Portia the right to pull out a text message that Kenya sent her about Cynthia, okay? Unless it was completely necessary. She could have drug Kenya and Cynthia's fake friendship all she wanted to without bringing up any type of text message, and she chose not to do that. So now I think that all the ladies should tread lightly when it comes to sending a text message to Portia. Think 5 times before you say something and send it to Portia, okay? Because she might put it out there on blast. Now, Cynthia didn't believe Portia anyway. She said she didn't believe that Kenya would do something like that, although I do believe it. I think Kenya did say it. I think she did say she was going to get Cynthia and that Cynthia's days were numbered. I believe that. I don't think Portia would make that up. I just don't think Portia should have put it out there. Now, Andy said for Portia to send the screenshots to him and to Cynthia to see if it was true or not. And so I believe it's true. So I'm interested to see what happens with Kenya and Cynthia once Cynthia ends up seeing that screenshot. Now, Nene said that her apologies were genuine and she really doesn't care who thinks they were or not, which is true. I don't think that she has a reason to care, okay? Now, Candy said that she did think that the apologies were genuine, but she had the reaction she had to Portia and Nene making up because she felt like Portia was being dramatic about the whole thing and she thought that it was kind of fake because Portia was like, well, life has been so hard without you when she was apologizing and making up with Nene. And so, Candy thought it was fake. So she called it out, which I completely agree with Candy on that. And Portia said that the reason why she said that life has been hard without Nene because she felt like she knew Nene would be there for her during her pregnancy and while she was going through what she was going through with Dennis, because she was there for her when she was going through what she was going through with Cordell. And so Candy called it out once again and said that's fake as hell. Because how could you say that she would have been there for you and she would have been genuine when she drug you in text messages and on social media while you were pregnant? So why would you say that she would be there for you? And Portia's dumbass comes out and says, well, I dogged Nene out too, just as bad as she dogged me out. We dogged each other out. So they basically was like, we dogged each other, okay? So that's such a good friendship between the two of them that whenever you guys get mad, you say everything to each other that you really been wanting to say, but you waited until you were pissed off to say it. So to me, they have a fake friendship as well. I think Kenya and Cynthia's friendship is fake, and I think Portia and Nene's friendship is fake, and I think that Candy was right for calling it out. So I actually thought that this part 1 of the reunion was entertaining. I thought it was good so far, and I'm interested to see what happens in part 2 of the reunion. So I want to know what you guys thought about part 1 down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit that notification bell so that you are notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you to all my subscribers for the support. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will see you guys in my next video.